Hello and welcome to the Superhero Hub, and it's back. What are we reviewing?
Gotham.
Yeah, finally, after a month break, it came back. This episode being called How the Riddler Got His Name, and I mean, I guess it was kind of a slow episode. You know what I mean? I think obviously it focused a lot on the Riddler. Now I'm thinking to myself, Um, okay, then they've kind of jumped straight in and made the Riddler now in the space of an episode. Do you think that was a better option than maybe just having him pop up in kind of 5 minute bits in the next few episodes and kind of do it there?
You know what? I think this is fine. Bear in mind, I suppose you'd know better than me because you've been watching the show entire for the last 3 years it's been on. But I would assume they've been building up to this for 3 years.
Yeah, but I mean, he's
But
gone straight in with. He's done a couple games already, and now like little mind game things, and now he's jumped into it. In my head, I'm thinking they've done this on purpose because now they can shift him out the way. You know what I mean? He's on the run from the police. Everyone knows that he's like up to stuff, so he's pretty much an outlaw now. He's gonna have to lie low. So I think that like a lot of stuff's gonna happen between now and the season finale, and they think, oh no, we'll throw the Riddler in, get all this done, sorted and solidified, and now because he's out, kind of outed as it were, we can shift him out the way and have him really like just be in the shadows for a few episodes while we kind of build up obviously more characters.
yeah, I suppose. And before we go on, remind me, 'cause I've forgotten from last time. Did they kill the Joker again, or is he still alive?
He is in Arkham Asylum.
Okay.
I think he's got his face fixed. Yeah. Because I made a little reference to that. You know, they were still cleaning up after the mess, which I thought was interesting. So basically, it was just like, because I was thinking to myself all through the episode, I was like, flipping, how's the Riddler gonna play this? Is he gonna be like low key and stuff like that, or is he literally gonna, just be like, boom, everyone knows who I am, which they went with, because I mean, his he kind of at the start is kind of low key. They're all like investigating these murders. Well, Lucius Fox is, and really is going around trying to get like Jim Gordon's attention. And he ends up getting Lucius Fox's instead. So there's like a little cat and mouse game with him, and then like he chloroforms Harvey Bullock at the police
Yeah, I've got to say, I
ceremony.
thought him capturing Bullock and whatnot, which we'll get to in a second, I thought that was fine, but I don't think it was a bit lame how he just randomly shows up with all those basically police cadets sat there and manages to kidnap Harvey without anyone noticing.
Well, it was behind the curtain, wasn't it?
Jeez, alright. But for the most part, I thought the Riddler stuff was pretty cool in this episode. Um, One thing, and to be fair, I'm not going to even level this as a criticism of the show because depending on the writers, the same thing has happened in the comic books with Riddler. But personally, I've never liked it when someone gets the riddle right, but then he still tries to kill him. I think that bugs me. I prefer it that not that it's like a code of honor thing, but that he has to stick to within his own rules. So when Lucius eventually gets the riddle right, and I know he doesn't make the chair fall on purpose, but it's like he doesn't care. I would prefer it if the Riddler was annoyed by the fact that Harvey was about to die. It's like his own game doesn't matter.
I understand that because it's kind of like I don't know whether you've seen the Saw films, but
The
like
first one.
yeah, when the like main Saw guys like dying or whatever, and there's like the girl who's the assistant. She when she kind of takes over as it were while he's on his deathbed and does the game, she does them so they're unwinnable, and
Mm.
then like in the back thing is kind of like plotting against her because of it.
You see, I just don't. I don't like the idea of playing a game where you can't win. I think it's stupid. But other than that, I thought the Riddler stuff was pretty strong. The Penguin haunting him was kind of okay. I don't.
I think that was the kind of I was kind of interested in that as well because I thought, right, they're gonna do that and they're gonna kind of keep that because really we don't know whether he's dead or not. So if they do that, it's like him being in the show but kind of not in the show. I thought they're really gonna drag out the reveal for maybe a couple of episodes, but they kind of just dropped it straight away. That is like still alive in the care of Poison Ivy, which would be interesting.
She's gone through a real growth spurt, hasn't she?
Oh, well,
Poison Ivy.
She got touched by the meta-human or whatever, and it like aged her like about 10
Oh,
years.
you're joking.
10, 15
Oh,
years.
can they do that to Batman?
Well, that's interesting as well. I mean, I don't really know where they're going with this whole clone stuff, and that it's kind of irked me all the way. I mean, that you got him like, oh, you've got to do this job, kind of with the Court of Owls, like they're recruiting Jim Gordon, his uncle, and he's kind of come out and told him everything that he's a double agent and he should join, which I think would make sense because that would put him in the perfect position, Jim Gordon, if he did join the Court of Owls.
Yeah, I don't get the clone thing either. I think it's a bit weird. I think, does Alfred know? Because when he mentioned the shepherd pie, he mentioned like shepherd pie, right? And Bruce said almost, what did he say? Like, that would be nice or something along those lines. It seemed like he was alarmed.
Maybe surprised because he mugged it off earlier, but I don't think he knows that it's the climb, but I think he was just obviously thinking, oh, he's gone and seen Selina, it's put him in a good mood or whatever. We see a bit of proper Bruce fighting, which I thought was good because those kind of loudmouths were annoying me anyway, and he battered them. I was like, the fighting looked good, the fighting looked pretty fluid, I like that. It didn't look too choreographed, so the fighting was good. What else was happening? No kind of the sirens, as it were, weren't really in it. Barbara Keane or Tabitha or anything like that. I think
Gordon, what's confused me, I think, probably in the time that I've stopped watching the show and now, that Gordon's not really in it that much.
Generally, the episode's kind of split half and half. See, with this, it was more Bullock, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, who's a good character. I mean, he can carry it in terms of, like, humour and stuff like that. Really, I like, going into the next few, I think this is one of them one-offs where he didn't really feature in it that much. But I think going on is going to feature in a lot more. I think they were just like, right, let's get this Riddler stuff out the way. So I think they really are playing to open up a bit more time, you know what I mean? I think they camped the Riddler up a bit as well, and I think they were aware of it as well, like when he was hallucinating Penguin on the pier and he was like, who's going to be afraid of the Riddler? Or was that Lucius Fox? Or someone come out and said, who's going to be afraid of the Riddler? And I think he was there were a bit that I thought, oh, this is kind of campy, but self-aware campy, you know what I mean? They were kind of mugging him off, and I was just like, that's okay. So then Bruce ends up getting kidnapped. Well, not kidnapped, he kind of, the clone Bruce confronts him and then knocks him with the knockout drug, and then this is where the episode got me hyped. I thought it was really great. I
imagined you would be.
Because I was sitting there and I was thinking, oh, he's in Arkham Asylum. Because like, I saw the outlook of the thing, like the thing, the window and the bars, and I was thinking, they put him in Arkham Asylum. That's a bit weird. I was thinking, how the hell are they going to get away with that? And then I was thinking, maybe they'll just put him in a private cell. And then it kind of ticked back, and he looked out the window, and obviously, snowy mountains. Where is he? Nanda Parbat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which is interesting, because he's a bit young, isn't he? Still, I mean, how old is he? What, 14 maybe?
Well, I think this. See. Let's be objective. Is because I mean everyone's thinking, oh, Nanda Parbat. Obviously, Ra's al Ghul's going to turn up. There's like another guy as well, and I'm starting to think to myself, I think it was codename Sensei or whatever, and like the Sensei's Ra's al Ghul's immortal father. So I'm thinking this should be interesting, that we're kind of gonna, because there's a really old white guy with white hair. He's in there, who's kind of like a mentor that was hinted at previously, that they said this guy's coming in, and everyone thought he was Ra's al Ghul. Then obviously Alexander Siddig has been cast as Ra's al Ghul, so now we know there's two of them, so maybe it's going to be him and his dad. So I'm thinking, because obviously he's the leader of the Court of Owls, as it were. So is going to be there for a couple of episodes. Ra's al Ghul's going to give him a talking to, and he ends up going back to Gotham. I don't think it's going to be the training. I think this is like a precursor to like, oh, he's aware this place exists. So I don't know, 5 years down the line, he thinks, oh no, I'm going to go back to this place because this is where I can get proper training. I think Ra's is probably going to give him an offer. He's going to decline, and then he's going to be like, okay, then come back when you change your mind. And obviously, 5 years down the line, when he sorts himself out, he'll probably return.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's going to be. I think Gotham's going to, because not generally it gets stuff right. I think they're going to make him real cool.
Well, we'll see. You know, I wonder if there'll be a Talia. I don't think he's going to be around for too long. Because you can't. You know, you can't really.
Nah, I think he'll be one of them ones who'll, like, as I said, there'll just be an offer, he'll disappear, and then he'll, like, maybe he'll pop up in different stories unrelated. Like, I don't think he'll say, like, next season, if he's in next season for a couple of episodes, I think he'll probably be milling around with other people, maybe, as opposed to Bruce.
Yeah, right, exactly. Because I know I've said this about a lot of villains on the show, and for most of them I kind of stick to this point, but I think more than maybe any other, you can't have Ra's al Ghul come to Gotham and be stopped by Jim Gordon.
Yeah.
And that won't work.
The kind of interesting thing as well is like he's underused. Anytime he kind of pops up in anything is really underused, and is like a strong. That was like the criticism in Arrow, that literally it was only in like about 6 episodes for not very long. So I'm thinking if they put him in, at least give him like some sort of good coverage. Don't just whack him in as like, oh, we know he's there. Don't overuse him, but you know, the guy's got potential. So I think if they do it right, it could be real interesting. As for Talia, I think that could. There's been no word of it, but I mean, if they introduce like a little girl or whatever, whether they say it's Talia or she's just unnamed or whatever, and it's hinted, that could be interesting. I mean, why not? So, I think that pretty much wraps everything up. Riddler, yeah.
Yep.
Penguin's still alive, yay. And then he kind of wakes up and is like, I just remembered I have to kill someone. Because it's interesting because when he confronts him a little earlier, is like, I was teaching you to kind of run the underground, but underground crime stuff, and be like in the public eye as well, you know what I mean, on the down low. And I was thinking, well, it's pretty good that fell out anyway, because that's pretty much what that's like the Penguin's role, to like, you know, running all this gun running and illegal casinos and stuff like that, and still be like, oh, you know, the big like, oh, iceberg lounge guy. So I think it was good they kind of differentiated him and Riddler. So I'm interested to see where it goes with that, but I don't want them to camp it up, knock off that love stuff, knock that out the way, because that's just like, it don't work. It don't work with those two characters. It really doesn't. So yeah, let's talk numbers.
I'll go with 7.5. I like the Riddler stuff. Didn't really care for much else that went down.
Yeah, it was kind of bit slow really, because it was kind of, there was a lot of Riddler stuff. That's when the last like maybe 5 minutes, like everything kind of went off in terms of like thing. But I think it's gonna speed up a bit, and we're gonna see a lot of different kind of arcs going from there on in. So yeah, I'll probably give it the same. I would have given it an 8, but really watching it, I was thinking till like the last like half, I was thinking this is kind of going a bit slow. You know what I mean? But at least it wasn't overcrowded with like say if they threw Barbara in or Tabitha or Butch or something, it'd be pointless throwing them in that episode. So I mean, because it'd all be bogged down. There's too much stuff going on. So you got Riddler out the way. We'll go from there. So yeah, I'm Sam.
I'm Matt.
And this has been our review of latest Gotham episode. See you in the next one.